chance to win. Rough start for the 76ers. They fell to the Bucks 90-88 last night. Joel Embiid scoreless in the second half. 0 for 7 from the field, 3 turnovers. He even declined to speak to reporters after the game. So this means, of course, the 76ers are starting the season 0-2. They take on the Spurs tomorrow. Shannon, how do you explain what's happening to Embiid?
Well, I don't think he was aggressive enough. They got to do a better job of getting him involved. But this is what you got to be careful. Say we need James Harden to be James Harden. Because James Harden being James Harden dominates the basketball, Skip. And then when he gets it going, he was efficient again last night. He was 13 of 24. Now, he didn't shoot the 3-ball well, 4-4 from the line. Yep. He had 31 points, but he was a +5. Joel Embiid was a -10. Joel Embiid is going to have to demand the ball. Now, this is a big team. Now, Joel Embiid doesn't have obviously he's a better player than Brook Lopez. But Brook Lopez can bother him with his size. Yeah. And then you bring Giannis, and then you bring 6'11 Giannis, and then you bring 6'10 Bobby Portis. Yep. And then you throw a little Serge Ibaka in there. I got it. So you have big bodies that can bother him. But 0 points in the second half? Nah. Joel Embiid can never, ever have a half like that. That's unacceptable for him. But he's going to have to do a better job of demanding the ball, and he's going to have to do a better job of getting himself and get going. I mean, 7 shots, hey, he's a guy that he was 6 of 21, Skip. 6 of 21. I don't know. You know, he's always had this ability, Skip, to like drift in and out. You like, does it really matter to him? Does it mean that much to him? Does he care? True. And last night seemed to be like one of those nights, but then you have to ask yourself, damn, does it mean, how much does it mean to him?
Yeah. Shannon Sharp, I was devastated by what I watched last night. You might remember I picked the Clippers to win it all, but I picked the Sixers to win the East. And I don't love my pick after last night because my pick is based on a guy that I do love, that 7-foot monster who is Joel Embiid, who currently is number 2 in the MVP odds to your man Luka. So a lot of people have high regard for Joel Embiid, and he's always a candidate for Defensive Player of the Year. Right. That's what we're talking about here. We're talking about a top 5 force in this league. Right. Who completely disappeared last night to the point he just gave up. I'm not going to say quit. He just gave up on himself, look, you know what it feels like to have a bad day or a bad night. But you know what happens. Maybe you dropped a ball. Maybe you dropped 2 balls in the first half. But if it's a close game in the fourth quarter and they're coming back to big play, big play is going to catch it. Yeah. Because you're just going to say whatever language you want to use. like I'm better than this. Yes. I'm going to do this. Right. Because of James Harden in the second half, he was sensational. Yeah. It was good old days Harden. Great old days Harden.
That's what you got to be careful for, Skip. We wouldn't need, let James be James. Okay. Well, this is James being James.
But they roared all the way back from potential devastation to right in the thick of this. And then your man Giannis wasn't having the best night either. So with 2 minutes left, if we can see what happens, he's got 2 free throws, Giannis does, to go up to. It's a tie game. If we could see these 2 shots by Giannis, this is when I said the door is open, because this looked like bad old day Giannis, because that was way wide right. And then the next one is just gagged because it barely touches the front of the rim. That's bad old days Giannis, because it looked like he had fixed that, which he mostly last year had. But now it's getting dicey in Philly, and the crowd's screaming their lungs out at you, and he missed those 2. And I'm thinking, okay, Joel, now it's time. And he shrinks, and he shrinks some more. He took 2 shots and missed them both in the fourth quarter. He had 1 rebound in the fourth quarter. As you said, he was a -10 for the game. What was he in the fourth quarter? He was a 0 in the fourth quarter, because they were all, like Harden was a +11 in the fourth quarter because they were on a roll. Okay.
Joel he only played 6 minutes in the fourth quarter.
Yeah. Okay, so now we get to the flashpoint of the whole game. And they just say, okay, Joe, it's you. You now take it home. Game's tied, take it home. And if we could see, they swing it over to Joel on the wing, and he hesitates until the double team comes. And once the double team comes, you're cooked. You got no choice. But go now. Not until they come. And at the last second, he tries a skip pass all the way across the court that should have been Milwaukee's ball because it went off Tyrese's fingertips. Yeah. It went off his fingertips, but they didn't have a timeout left, so they couldn't challenge. But the point is, he turns that. That's Joel Embiid on the wing with Brook Lopez. Hey, any other moment of any other game, he's just licking chops. He's just saying, here I go. It's like Kawhi on Westbrook. I'm just going to go do this.
Right.
Well, that's Joel Embiid. And you could just see he lost all his confidence in himself. This is where you redeem. This is where you say, I'm a top 5 player. I'm at least going to get to the free throw line.
Right.
Let me look at his free throws here, because that was the shocker here. Joel Embiid managed to shoot 3 free throws for the whole night.
That tells you wasn't aggressive.
What? 3 free throws? He led the league by far in free throw attempts last year. Led by far.
Yep.
That's what he does. That's where he does his damage.
Yep.
He's a 14 out of 15 guy.
Yep.
Sometimes he's a 19 out of 22 guy.
Yeah.
He just gets to the free throw line.
Correct.
Well, go get to the line on Brook Lopez. You tell me you're afraid to even try to do that? Yep, he's afraid.
But Skip, the problem that I have, look, you're going to have a bad game. Everybody's had bad games. But you got to be man enough to face them.
You got to face it.
Don't duck out on them.
No, he does.
Because if you'd have had a 50-point night, you'd have been up there keying and cracking jokes and smiling from ear to ear.
You got it right.
So when you have a bad game, be man enough to stand up for the media and say, guys, hey, I didn't play well tonight. But you best believe the next game, somebody's going to feel it. That's a part of it.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, these guys here, they only want to talk when things go well. And then when they don't want to talk. And then, you know, this and that. No, bro, just own it. You didn't play well. It happens. You're not the first. You won't be the last superstar player that doesn't play well. But don't go run and hide and get dressed and get out of there before the media can get an opportunity to question you. Don't do that.
You know, his pride was stinging, seething.
Yeah.
Because he got booed heavily last night. But as you talked about, Laker Nation out here at the crypt. If you stink it up, they're going to let you hear about it, right?
Yeah.
And they did. They were booing him all night long.
Yeah, and they should have. I've been booed before. As a matter of fact, hell, I was booing them too. They didn't hear me. I was like, boo, we suck. We suck. We sure do. I hate to break it to you. Man. When I was in Baltimore, we getting booed all the time. Skip, you go 5 weeks without scoring a touchdown, you best believe they're going to boo you. But guess what? You got to, but you stand before the media. Hey, guys, we're not good right now. We're struggling right now. We've got to be better. I've got to be better. It's my job to make sure these guys are ready to play. Joel, I had a bad game. It won't happen again. I need to be more aggressive. You see the free throws, I only shot 3. Tells me I wasn't aggressive enough. Now, this is a big team. They're very good. Milwaukee's a very good defensive team.
They are.
Because they're so big.
Yep.
And you see how they make you throw the ball over the top of them because when they stand up, look at Brook Lopez. He's 7'1". You look at Giannis, 6'11". Bobby Portis. That's why it's so hard to score against them. Because now when they bring the double team, it's not like they're bringing a 6'8" and a 6'9" guy to double team Joel Embiid. They got a 7'1" and a 6'11" guy doubling.
Okay. Now to my final nitpick, rooting for the Sixers as I was last night to at least get to 1-1 and say we beat a very good basketball team. So after the play in question, where the ball goes out of bounds, should have been the Bucks ball, they get to inbound it again, Philly does, and James drives it because James said, I've seen enough of Joel. It's my turn, and here I go, and Drew Holiday is on him, and if we could see what happened near the rim, I'm calling a foul here. This is just me because Drew gets beaten a little bit, and he's not set, and he body fouls him. He hits him hard because Drew is built, man. He carries some weight, and he hits James and knocks him completely off his shot. To me, that's a foul.
Right.
And it's James Harden, and you can say they're fouls that you've earned just on reputation. And again, it might have been close, but I'm calling the foul.
Maybe 4 or 5 years ago, he definitely would have got that call.
Okay, maybe that's what's happened.
You know, Skip, they've instituted Harden rules because a lot of the flailing, Skip, you know how you get his hands in there and throw the ball? They say, man, we can't have you shooting 22, 23 free throws a night.
He wasn't flailing. He just went up for what was going to be a layup type of a shot off the glass.
Right.
And Drew Holiday is beaten for a half second. And then he scrambles. He's still moving and just body fouls him and knocks him off his spot. Well, that's a foul.
Nah, we ain't gonna bail. The referee said we ain't bailing you out.
Well, they didn't bail him, and they didn't bail out Joel, and they didn't bail out Doc Rivers. And I got to tell you, if this continues like this, Doc's seat's going to start getting hotter and hotter, because it didn't look right to me last night. There's still too much your turn, my turn. There's not enough ball movement.
Skip, they only got 13. Skip, Sixers got to get more out of the bench. Remember, it was the bench the other night that let them down. They got 13 points.
Yeah.
That ain't gonna cut it. 13 points ain't gonna cut it. You supposed to have improved that. You added more Donnell House, DeAnthony Melton, you got Trez Harrell.
Yeah. And Shake is still there, and I don't know what happened. He's in the doghouse because he doesn't even get in the game.
Korkmaz is too.
Korkmaz can really shoot, and he didn't get in the game. They're going to have to start going to those guys.
You got to go to something.
Whew. Well, I thought Joel was the leader of this team, because James is not a leader. He's just he just sort of plays in his own space.
Well, leaders, obviously, when things go bad, they stand up and talk.
That is correct. Bingo. That's what I hated the most about it. That's what disappointed me the most, was he ghosted. He ghosted in the game and after the game.
Maybe it's a situation he'll learn from and bounce back. Skip, to your point about James Harden, he has been on fire, 31 and 35 points in those 2 games, and he flirted hard with triple doubles.
Wow.
If Embiid can get it going, they could be a dynamic duo. All right, Skip.